Thank you very much. The next item on the list is actually to have a keynote speak from Mr. Saul Frazer. But before I call him on the podium, I would just like to introduce him properly. Mr. Saul Frazer is a 44 years old gentleman. He's the managing director and CEO of Global Properties. As a young boy growing up in the Gambia, Saul was very determined and focused on making the difference within his community through social impact. Born to Gambian parents in Banjul and grew up in Latrikunda, Sabiji, Saul Frazer was gifted the opportunity to travel to Sweden with his mother and sister. This was an experience that widened his world. Saul Frazer completed his high school education in Sweden and moved to England, where he attended the Regent's Business School and earned his bachelor's degree in international business. He began his career in England working as a sales and marketing manager for the Association of Information Management in London. During this time, his passion and desire to return home deepened, and in February 2007, he took the bold step to relocate back to the Gambia. Upon returning, he took up the position as an assistant head of commercial banking at Access Bank. Through searching for his own personal housing options in his first 6 months, Saul realized the gaps in the housing market and limited individuals, both Gambians and non-Gambians alike, from property ownership. The lack of adequate financing options for individuals, especially middle-income earners, both home and abroad, was the missing element for him. With this in mind, Mr. Frazer started Global Properties in August 2007 with a vision to provide every Gambian the opportunity to own a piece of land in the Gambia, or at least a piece of property. His mission was for Global Properties to provide access to affordable housing and land in the Gambia through mortgage financing. The concept that land ownership starts between 40 to 50 years was an idea that Saul saw as something in the past. Through his journey, Mr. Frazer expanded his operations in Senegal and Ghana, with operation offices in London, UK, and Maryland, US, to gain access within the diaspora market as well. He diversified his portfolio from affordable land and housing, from the Tujereng housing estate, to luxury housing estates such as Paradise Estate, and exclusive seafront apartments such as the Forest View, to cater to all and to continue to raise the standards of living. He also established a property management office to assist individuals with rental needs. In 2009, he was awarded the Young Entrepreneur of the Year for his innovative solutions to addressing the property needs of Gambians and other investors. The head of state also decorated Mr. Frazer with the National Order of the Republic of the Gambia in 2011. He was appointed as Ambassador at Large for Development in the Gambia. Today, Global Properties is a reliable and trustworthy household name known for creating innovative property solutions, an accomplishment that Saul Frazer is proud of. He is passionate about youth entrepreneurship programs across different sectors and spends his leisure time supporting through various means, including assistance and mentoring, thus creating a greater social impact. Saul Frazer's business model is driven by passion, determination, and love for his country. This is the story he plans to share with the world and hopes to inspire the masses through his public speaking engagements. So with that, I welcome Mr. Saul Frazer to deliver the keynote speech.
Honorable members of the High Seat, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols respectfully observed. Good morning. The real estate industry, our trade activities are embedded in the materials that we use. You can successfully import these materials successfully, it's also determine the success of your business. Over the years, there's been challenges involved in the importations of goods, especially from the region that has many restrictions and policies. This makes it a difficult, expensive process, and in turn affects the cost of properties. When we assess cross-border trade, you can clearly see that there's potential. We have seen over the years an increase in real estate investment from both the African diaspora and across the continent, especially within the West African region. Recently, there's been a surge of Senegalese, Nigerians, Sierra Leoneans who have shown interest in owning a property in our beloved country. Many have successfully invested to diversify their income streams. Likewise, some Gambians have also done similar investments across Africa. Africans are generating interest in investing heavily across the regions. One of the reasons for the influx of real estate investment is that many are establishing branches, putting offices across borders in order to widen their audiences. The reality is that simplifying the process of business expansion encourages more of such moves. Some of Africa's biggest challenges that affects cross-border trade involves poor infrastructure, lack of skilled human resources, and minimal access to financing. These inhibiting factors are roadblocks to Africa's development. Though each country is independent, focus should also be centered on working together, guided by the continental agenda. With such, more businesses are likely to survive, create more employment, and improve livelihood of Africans, and enhance trade and investment opportunities. When we look at trade in Africa, key words to me are simplification and harmonization. You look at the current intra-Africa trade at the moment, we stand at 12%, whereas in Europe and America, it's beyond 50%. Something needs to be done. In 2017, the World Trade Organization signed a trade facilitation agreement with its member countries. Some of the goals were to increase transparency for importers and exporters, improve on governance, also work on modernizing border implementations, as well as enhance the movement of goods in transits and customs cooperation. Following that, the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, a flagship of the African Union, was also established in 2018 with the objective of, one, to create a single market for goods and services facilitated by movement of people. Two, to promote industrial development. Three, to create sustainable and inclusive socioeconomic growth to deepen the African integration. So far, 52 members have signed, that is since February 2021. This connects 1.3 billion people across the continent, with a combined GDP estimated to be 3.4 trillion US dollars. You ask me, that is good news. When we look at the realities of cross-border trade and investments in Africa, opportunities are endless. Successful implementation of the African Continent Free Trade Area will allow African-owned enterprises to, one, enter new markets, and two, increase their customer base and adapt new products and services. be successful in implementing this, I believe we should examine more carefully case study of the European Union. This is because Africa needs to focus on strengthening initiatives such as the trade agreement, ensure appropriate, effective measures are put in place to promote the safe and secure movement of goods, people across borders, hassle-free. With a united Africa, the world is waiting to bring their investments. Just imagine that today, in order to travel to another African country, we're required to fly to Europe, then transfer us back to Africa. Such logistics discourages investments and drive business opportunities away. It's time for Africa to rise and unite and increase trade investments across the board. Thank you for your kind attention.